Hello guys, this is Rishikesh, and I hope you are doing good. Maybe I am live. In this video, I'm going to discuss that how can you solve the problems, and I'm going to solve the problem of the gate algorithms problem, that is a previous year question of the gate examination, and let's see how you can approach these problems and how can you think about this solution. So, I will go in depth explanation with your corresponding answer. So let me give a second. Just wait a second. So, let me complete. So yeah, let's get started and let's solve the problems of the lead code from now. And maybe I am yeah. Let's solve the problems. Yeah, great algorithm. UI equals get UI. UI equals. Okay. Let's how can I solve this? How can I solve this problem? So we are visiting to the Bixper site and getting POS2 from here. Uh, let's see that. So how can I solve this problem? So basically, we have a lot of topics in the algorithm. Then we choose the topics from the startings, and then we can move to the other topics while solving this problem. So basically, I'm starting with the complexity analysis and asymptotic notations. So let's get started. Parallelly, I'm opening the Excel draw so that I can explain all the solutions with the drawings so you may understand in the easiest way. So yeah, Excel draw. Let me open that Excel draw. Yeah, the website of Excel draw. Maybe my computer is lagging, but yeah, let's check it. Okay, why this is, am I live or not? Yeah, so yeah, we are here. Maybe it lagged. I don't know what was happened. Just wait a few seconds before it starts to reload. Then we can move. Yeah, Excel draw is open. Draw. Okay. Yeah, this is Excel draw, and let me take my mouse so that I can explain using mouse. So yeah. So let me pick a questions. So this is the question of the C++. What is the complexity of the function? So how can we let me zoom. So what is the complexity of the function? That function, let's see in the C programming. Right? C programming. Why I'm choosing in the C programming? The reason behind this is simple. There are subject dedicated in the GATE examination that is called C programming, and we have a lot of questions from the C programming. That is why we choose C programming. And here we can see that this problem. Let me see how can we solve this problem. Firstly, I'm taking screenshot. Take a screenshot, okay, and let's copy this into Excel draw, and then I am explaining from here. Yeah, let's make background something dark. Background dark. Yeah, let's get started, and I'm taking um, this color. Okay. Basically, we have to find the complexity of this function. So how can we find that? We need basically the count plus one. It has the constant time complexity. What is mean by that? The constant time complexity. This is simply means that this running count plus equals to one takes the constant time for all the iterations. So we can write it as C. then we can check that how many times this C is running. Then that will be the time complexity of this function. So basically the function is running from I is equal to n, I is greater than 0 and I divided equal to 2. Means firstly we have n. So n is the size. N is the size, and let's say that uh, firstly we are assigning I is equal to n. So basically I is equal to n. Okay. From I is equal to 1, whenever I is greater than 0, then this function will runs, and after the increment value I value is go divided by 2. So basically this function I is equal to n and I is greater than 0, that is true. Then we can enter in this block, and in this block we have j is equal to 0 and j is less than I and j plus plus. So basically I is equal to 1 or I is equal to n, sorry, I is equal to n. The inner block is running how many times? This running n times. Okay, then it is divided by 2. It goes divided by 2 because here I divide equal to 2 means n divided by 2. Then how many times this function runs? N divided by 2. Okay, just wait a second. Yeah, and after that it becomes n equal to 4. Then how many times this function runs? N by 4. So basically we have to submit it all. Yeah, we have to submit this, and let's check I am live or not. If I am not live, then I will do something for this. Okay, I am live or not. N by 4. Yeah, I am live. That works fine. So yeah, that is good. If I was not, then I will make sure there will be not any issue with that. But let's get started. Then it goes n by 2, n by 4, and n by 8. Okay, so this is, and then if you make it common n, then what it becomes 1 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 8 plus dot dot dot. So this is the standard GP summation problem. You may see the summation of this GP is a divided by means 1 divided by r minus 1. What is r? R is nothing but, yeah, this is actually 1 by 2. 1 plus 1 by 2. So what is r? R here is 1 by 2. 1 by 2 r minus 1. A divided by r minus 1. Sorry, 1 minus r. Actually, this is my fault. This would be 1 minus r. Okay, this would be 1 minus r. 1 minus r means 1 divided by 1 minus 1 by 2. That means 1 by 2, that's equal to 1. So basically, the overall complexity of this function is 2n. So if you provide the value n to this function, then the overall complexity of the function would be 2n. So let's check. Yeah, it is. But here we got n into n log n, n into log n. So how these functions work? Let's me check it up once. If n is common, then 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 4, 1, actually j is equal to n. Yeah. Exactly. And complexity of functions n log n. How it can be n log n? Let me submit it. Maybe I have been made it some mistake while solving this problem. Let me check it up once more. Mm, and then we have internal loop runs for n time, n by 2, then n by 4, by 8. Yeah, that would be the 1 by n. Yeah, that is 1 by n. So, so this is the GP, and what is the sum of GP? n by 2, 2a, 2 plus n minus 1 d, a plus 1 divided by n. So let me check it up how this is wrong and how we can solve this problem for an input integer n. The outermost loop of function is executed log n 3 times. The outermost. Okay. I understood. I understood why my solution is not even correct output because this runs n times. This n by 2, this n by 4 means total would be n. Okay, yeah, that is correct way. Maybe I am correct. Let me check once more. Yeah, that is good. The silly mistake that I have been done. Make sure I will not do in the examination as well. For now, what I am going to do, let me check the other one of how can I made it that mistake. Let me check this for I functions and int count is equal to 0. What is the complex? I is equal to 0 to this loop is running how many times this loop is running n times, upper loop is running n times, then lower loop also running mm, n times, okay, n times, then the total time would be n square. Yes, that is the correct answer. So when the question is easy, then I do not have to like dry run and explain in a detailed way. Even though what I does is that I directly solve the problems. If the problem is easy one, if that is hard, then at that time maybe it will be wrong. But wrong problem is not the scenario. And we can find the solution and understand why I am wrong in that particular solution. So moving forward and seeing that problem. The reckless relation capturing the optimal time of the Tower of Hanoi problem with n disease is. So the reckless relation capturing the optimal time of the Tower of Hanoi with n disease is. So to be honest, I do not have in-depth understanding about the Tower of Hanoi problem because when I am studying the Tower of Hanoi, then on the weightage of this topic in my semester examination is not that much high, so that I don't go in the deeper way. But I would, what I would do is that I can understand this problem that how is the time complexity of this problem. Let's say time complexity of time complexity. Power of problem. Okay. Let me check it up. Oh, actually, it's my fault. It's my fault. That is 2 raised to power n. Okay. Let me understand in the table. Recurrence relation would be 2 into n minus 1 plus 1. Recurrence relation would be 2 into n minus 1 plus 1. Yes, that is correct. The recurrence relation would be 2 into n minus 1 plus 1. That is, let's see how this explained and what we can learn from this explanation. So, following are the steps to follow to solve the Tower of Hanoi problem recoverability. Let me three pegs B, A, B, C. The goal is to move n. Okay, correct. To move n distances from peg A to peg C. Move distance from this. Yeah. Maybe this is the recursion and backtracking problem. That is the why their complexity is exponential in nature. And what you can do is you can memorize this problem and throughout the dynamic programming could solve this problem in the minimal time. That is the reason why this is the very important problem. Power of Pinoy. It's okay. It's 20 seconds. Okay, now let's check. So big of n square is the versatile time complexity. So among the given options, it can represent all. Represent big of n square is the worst case time complexity. Okay. So we know that n square is the worst term. So among the given options, it can represent what it can represent is that. Let me check it up for what it represents. Mm, actually, all of them. All of them is the correct answer. Why? Because this is the worst case complexity. Okay, then we can do any of them. Like, big of n square is the worst time complexity. So if the time complexity is big of n square, they all can be the represented by it. That is good. Now let me check it up. Oh, which which of the given options provides the increasing order of asymptotic complexity of functions upon F2, F3, and F4? Okay. So basically, here what we have to do is that we have to arrange all the functions with their complexity asymptotic analysis. Then we may see in that analysis what we can see is that we check the growth of the function. If the function growth is too much high, then we can assume that their asymptotic complexity is too much high. Then it's corresponding to their growth rate. So let me check in the F1 to F4 which function has the more growth rate, and according to them we have to arrange all of them in this sequence. As the given four option we have to choose one that is fit for all the that is fit and in the best given order. So let me check if one n is equal to 2 raised to power n. Okay. 2 raised to power n is the exponential time complexity, and so this has a higher time complexity among all. So let me check where F1 is in the last. N raised to power 3 by 2 is the lowest time complexity. So this is coming the first. So F1, F2 is, oh my god. Hmm, actually, let me copy this problem and solve in the detail way. Maybe I find this easy, found this easy and made a mistake. This is the biggest blunder I have done. So I'll explain in the detail. Yeah. So yeah. So it this is the 2 raised to power m. This means this has the exponential time complexity. What is mean by that? Their asymptotic complexity is higher from all among them. So we can mark it in the last because this is the highest complexity. So for among bottom ones, what we have is that we have n power 3 by 2. This is the less complexity, I mean to say, because polynomial time complexity is lesser. Okay. Okay. Oh my God. Sorry, sorry. This has the lesser one because this is not on the power of n. I made it a mistake. What mistake was that? I assume that this is the n raised to power log n. Okay. N raised to power log. But that is not. This is what it's just the multiplication of log n. And by the mistake of that, I marked 3 F2 as the lesser one, but the actual answer would be F3 is the lesser among all of them. That is the biggest problem. So basically, F3 is the sub or lesser among all, then F2, then F4, then F1. So 3, 2, 4, 1. Oh, 3, 2, 4, 1. This is the correct order, and I made it marked this as the correct answer. That is my fault. Let's do another one and see that how can you solve problems. So what is the time complexity of the below functions? So here I need to check the time complexity of the given function. And how can I check that? The reason is very simple. This is taking n and this is taking length of the array. So the first function has no initial condition. This simply indicates that I is equal to 0. Okay? Right. From I is equal to 0, I is uh, I is less than n and I plus. What is mean by this? For loop runs n times. This for loop runs n times. Okay? Maybe it is clear for all of you if you are watching this video. Otherwise, I do not watch. Hmm. Let's check for inner loop. What inner loop exactly says that j is less than n. The value of j is 0. J is less than n and ARR of I is less than ARR of j. Then j plus plus. Mm, mm, let me check that how much time this will runs. But j value is not updating now. J value is constant only. If you can see that the value of j is only updated at once. Basically, the value of j once reach the end, then there is no condition that this inner loop works for. So basically, time complexity would be big off. And let me check again before I made a mistake. So let me check that I have corrected this. I am corrected this. Mm, for j values initialize once and j is running. Okay, not initial. This will run n times and this will run n times. So big of n. So that's the correct answer. Both loops together runs at most n times. Each is resume only is so when the river is stressed. So yeah, that is the good one. So we have question number 7, and let's see that how can I solve this problem, and even you, how can you think this problem and get a better answer. So yeah, let's get you started. So in a competition, 4 different functions are observed. All the functions use a single for loop. and within the for loop, same set of statements are executed. Consider the following for loops. In a competition, four different functions are observed. All the functions uses a single for loop, and within the for loop, same set of functions are also considered for. Yeah, all the functions uses a single for loop. Yeah, let me take. If n is the size of the input positive, which are the following most efficient if the task to be performed is not an issue. Yeah, so basically you have to find which one has the least time complexity, or you can say that asymptotic growth. So this has the big of n. This is the big of n by 2. This has the big of n and log n. This is the big of log n. And this has also the most of it efficient. Yeah, C is the correct answer. Why C is the correct answer? I don't even understand. Okay, okay, let me check that. Mm, Y is equal to N. I is. So yeah, this runs infinite time. Yeah, this has no condition. This runs infinite time. When I is equal to zero, then this will not run a lot of time. That is the reason why C is correct one. So look, C runs slower two times since I is double it time makes it the most efficient wall position. So yeah, let me see the 8 number questions and try to solve it by yourself if you are seeing that. If not, then go and do whatever you're doing. What does it mean when we say that an algorithm X is asymptotically more efficient than Y? X will be better choice. Better choice? X will be better choice for all into X of possibilities. A better choice for all into X of possibilities. Better choice for. Yeah, that is the correct answer one. Mm, oh my God. There is a lot of explanation of this problem, and this problem is the simplest one among all of them. So why this much explanation is needed? I don't know. And what you should do is that to learn the basic concept that will help a lot while understanding the problem, and do not jump directly into any of the questions. Just solve. Maybe Geeks for Geeks do not subscribe on my channel. That is the important thing. Please, Geeks for Geeks do not do anything. Consider the following function. Mm, which of the following statements about the simple will be aware of the yeah, it's an issue. Yeah, I have solved this problem. Mm, basically, this is not in the better way. Maybe I am not live or oh, let me check once. Am I live or not? If I was not, so yeah, I have solved this problem. Mm, basically, this is not in the better way. Maybe I am not live or oh, let me check once. Am I live or not? If I was not, so yeah, I have solved this problem. Yeah, let's go. Go and solve the problem. So the problem is simple that maybe I am remembering 30 number answer because I have solved this problem multiple times so that I remember. Mm, what the hell is going on? This is not the proper text is designed. Maybe what developer is doing of this website. I don't know. So these are a lot of questions. rather than that. And I mean, this is a good number of questions. I think, yeah, this is a lot of questions. I didn't assume that this has questions. Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is a lot of questions. Okay. 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 I didn't assume that this is a lot of questions, around 100 and more. So, it's already too much late and I'm gonna sleep. So let's end the session here. And maybe if you are watching this session, I hope you may got some benefit. If not, then why you are watching? A simple answer is. So let's end this session here. I want to sleep because I was so much tired from the day, tired in fact. And yeah, let's end. I don't have much mm, time, so I will give in that. But yeah, let's let's end the session. And yeah, maybe I will meet with the DSA session tomorrow. That is going to happen from the 10 from 9:30 p.m. onwards. And in that particular session, I will I will teach the algorithm or anything related to algorithm. I will see tomorrow what topic I will teach, but maybe I will solve more than 100 problems tomorrow. Okay, so more than 100 problems in 1 hour. That is the sprint series that is going to happen from tomorrow. From tomorrow, and it goes until the gate examination. So yeah, let's end it